Hello, and welcome to this review of a bourbon. This is Ancient Age Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, carefully distilled along the banks of the Kentucky River according to the finest old traditions. It's 80 proof, which is similar to a lot of bourbons. Jim Beam, Jack Daniels, well, that's a Tennessee whiskey, but Old Granddad is 80 proof. And this is 80 proof, so that's your common number. There is a higher proof, higher alcohol Ancient Age, and it's called Ancient Age 10 year. It's aged for 10 years. I have not seen it in Louisiana, and I don't know of anybody else that has. It's more of the rare. You can call the company Sazerac. Their headquarters is actually in Metairie. Sazerac, they own so many brands. But their distilleries are around the world, and mostly in like Kentucky. This is distilled at the Buffalo Trace Distillery.
Okay.
You've heard of that bourbon maybe. And that's in Frankfort, Kentucky. But you can call them and they'll actually tell you where you can get it. And they'll tell you exactly what stores have it.
Probably on their website.
Yeah, I think there's a locator too also on their website. But their tool is a little different. I think it just tells you, here's a distributor that carries it in your area and you can call them. But it's really easy to call these people. The Ancient Age Distillery has a rich history, first established at the old Leestown settlement and early transportation center in Frontier, Kentucky. I'm not going to read this whole kind of long description, but like I say, we love to hear from our customers, and you can send them an email or call them, they will get back to you. Unlike Jim Beam, who I sent an email to, never got back to me, which I wasn't pleased about. There's no number to call. No, seriously, no number to call. And they say, send an email. I did. Got no response except a form letter saying we have your case number. And
Case number?
I just wanted to know if they still made Jim Beam Choice, which is like a rare version. I got no information. I'm not begging these people to buy their products. Sazerac is so good with customer relations. You gravitate toward the people who are responsive, right?
Yeah.
That's the way I feel about it. Ancient Age. There used to be a product called Seagram's Ancient Bottle. Gin, with this old humble bottle. I think they had Ancient Bottle Bourbon, and Ancient Bottle some other whiskey. And then all of a sudden there was a company came out with Ancient Age, which had a bottle suspiciously similar to the Seagram's Ancient Bottle. I said, he even had the AA.
Look similar. Yeah.
AA. I said, I see what they're doing.
Ooh, I loved that Seagram's gin we tried.
Yeah,
that was the best
Distiller's
gin
Reserve.
I've ever had.
From, you can get it at Rouse's. Well, anyway,
So good.
I don't think any of those Seagrams are made anymore, but the Ancient Age is still around. It was acquired by Sazerac, and it's at the Buffalo Trace Distillery. I bought this at Matherne's. The price was like $9.99. I think now it's $10.99 for the same, but it's inexpensive. It's not an expensive bourbon. But other people, commentators have seen this in the background of other videos and just placed it in the background, and they were saying, oh yeah, I know about this. So I would be curious to see what the video reviewers say. They were showing on the website for this great bourbons, and also on the Sazerac website, that one of these online review sites recommended it.
Okay.
So like I say,
I got some leg action.
y'all have never had it, right?
No.
Neither one of you, Justin or Elizabeth. I've never had it. I've had this bottle for going on a year now. How long is it aged? Doesn't say. Now, if it doesn't say how long something's aged, that means it's at least 4 years. If it's less, never mind, retraction. Aged at least 36 months.
Oh,
If it's less than 4 years, they have to state it.
okay.
So we know it's somewhere between 36 months.
Plus the year that you have had it.
Well, but it wasn't aged in any barrels. Just
Oh,
in
right.
glass.
Okay.
So it's aged in the charred white oak barrels.
Okay.
All right, so it's kind of a younger one, but you can also buy that, like I said, the 10 year, but I'm sure it's not going to be $9.99. Like you said, it's got some alcohol legs. What do you call that? Medium amber?
Yeah, it's not too ambery. It's kind of like a light honey.
Yeah. Not super dark. Now, my experience with bourbon is minimal. I don't know what your experience is.
I don't do a ton of bourbon.
You said you liked it.
I love bourbon. This has To me, it has a subtle like honeyness to it, and the alcohol, I don't know what to call that smell, but the alcohol smell comes across very, very
the
strong.
booziness.
Yeah, there's a big boozy smell.
I wrote some tasting notes, and I'm going to see if what we say matches up.
It's like burning my nose if I sniff too hard.
Yeah.
To me, it's got that, but it's mellow. It's not harsh.
It also reminds me of the smell when honey like sugars over.
Oh, yeah. I'm picking up a little corn. It's made with 3 ingredients. Well, of course, water, but they use corn. Well, mainly barley and some corn and rye to give the spiciness to it, rye.
Is bourbon what you make an old fashioned with?
Yes.
Typically.
That big bottle
Typically.
with the green label?
Well, that's rye whiskey. I usually use bullet rye,
Okay.
just because I don't have any bourbon usually. I barely buy it.
Yeah,
Drink it.
people make old fashions with bourbon typically, but they also make brandy old fashions.
Really?
Oh yeah, there's recipes for that. Oh yeah.
Still need to make that chai tea old fashioned.
Yeah. Day.
I think it's sort of a simple aroma.
Yeah, it's not incredibly complex. It's not like, what did we drink that time that smelled like jasmine? That was so good.
Oh yeah, I can't quite remember. This one does.
The Hennessy Black?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That was good.
Of course, that's coming from grapes. This is coming from grains. So I always call brandy the whiskey of. It's like grape whiskey. You know what I mean?
I didn't know brandy was from grapes.
Yeah, it's made from grapes. It's like distilled wine. They mix a huge variety of different wines and then they distill it. So like I say, it's like grape whiskey. You know?
Interesting. I know that.
This, I'm getting dried flowers and some dried fruit maybe.
Dust.
There's definitely wood, like that oakiness. You know, it's breathing a little bit, so I think it's starting to display more complex things. If you just pour it, start smelling it, it's not.
If you typically with bourbon too, the profile will change if you put a little bit of cold water drops in it. There's why some people put an ice cube in it to let it melt a little bit. Not to completely water down the drink, but the water brings out different flavors.
I noticed
aromas.
I noticed on the Jim Beam website they always showing a ice cube in there to try to help it out.
Yeah, I smell the woodiness.
And some spice from that rye. So yeah, this is not just some humdrum thing to me. I'm not gonna speak for y'all, but I don't think I got ripped off paying $9.99 for it.
No.
I don't think. I haven't tasted it yet. Might be ghastly, but I don't think so.
It's like I taste the woodiness.
Yeah, it's very oak.
Like more woodiness than honey
White
or
oak.
anything.
The honey's still there. It's really subtle.
The wood and like the kind of spiciness.
I'd really be curious to try the 10-year age, sitting in those barrels for 10
Yeah.
years. 10 years. But it's
There's also a taste that makes me think of tea.
maybe a little tannin
You know?
and a little. There's the rye spiciness, and to me there's the oak. There's a little vanilla. There's a little char. Like they take the barrels and they use the flame and they get them charred. There's
Yeah.
a little of that.
And the aftertaste.
When I drink the Jim Beam, it's got a taste of like moss, almost like a moldiness.
Oh, sounds great.
And evergreen, green wood that's still kind of green and didn't dry all the way. It's an odd taste. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. I don't think Jim Beam is bad. But some people hate it. Some people say, oh, Jim Beam, horrible stuff. I just think that the oddity of it throws some people off. On the other hand, it is the #1 selling bourbon in the world, so it can't be too many people that hate it. This is more of an obscure brand, but it is made by a prominent company.
I would be interested to try it with an ice cube just to counteract that alcohol burn.
I'll go get one.
Well, it feels, as I'm drinking it, it feels like I get that vanilla-ness you said, or like honey or
I'm
honeysuckle.
starting to get the vanilla.
That stays in my mouth until I swallow, and it's only after I swallow that the oakiness, the woodiness really comes out, and the longer the aftertaste goes on, the oak comes more present.
Yeah, I taste.
And that level rises.
I don't really taste the char until the aftertaste.
Yeah.
Okay, my hands are clean. I did wash my hands. Water.
You can get you one.
I didn't get one because I'm cool with it like it is. But
Well, I'm just curious.
What it does.
when I drink that gin, like I've been drinking that Clubhouse gin that you thought was a very dodgy looking product. When I add the ice cube and swirl around, it does okay. You know, it does all right.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little odd.
I want some more of that Hennessy Black. That was what it was that we liked so much, right? How much was that?
Well, for a bottle this size, it would be about $60, $50.
Golly.
For the half-size bottle, maybe $25 if you can find it on sale. I mean, I got an extremely unusual sale
Yeah,
price.
you did get lucky. And how much was that nice gin, that Seagram's Black Reserve gin?
Oh, the Distilled Reserve with the black and gold label.
So
Well, that one's not really that expensive. It's just aged longer and it's a little bit more refined process.
Mm-hmm.
It's like about $15 for the bottle, this
That's not
size
bad.
bottle. About $15.
It tastes a little sweeter.
It does,
It's
and I mean
super-
the smell of it, it's way less boozy immediately.
So you
putting
think the
the
ice
cube in
helped it?
Taste it with ice cube and tell me if you think it tastes sweeter.
I don't know if help is the right word, but it does make it more sweeter. It changes it to where the wood, the oakiness, isn't as present. I think it brings out more of the sweetness of the bourbon.
I think it brings more of the rye spice even.
Yeah, more of the spice and the sweetness. But for me, the oakiness and the char is still there in that aftertaste.
Yeah, Distiller's Reserve, you can go right to Rouse's and they have it.
I might have to do that because did I finally run out of the gin, the Taka gin?
We're almost out.
Almost out of that gin you gave me.
The Distiller's Reserve, you might catch it on sale at Rouse's. I mean, you could go over there and they could conceivably have it $13.99.
I still have the big plastic handle of the Seagram's gin, but the Taka gin is better.
You thought Taco was better than Seagram's?
Wait, no, not Seagram's. What is the gin that I have?
Oh, you had Mims.
Mims. Yeah,
Mims,
no, the
okay,
Seagram's
that.
or the Taka is better than that for sure.
Well, you know, I like Bombay's gin. That's what I usually end up
Have you
getting.
had Bombay?
Bombay Sapphire? No,
Yeah.
no.
Or even just the regular Bombay. The Sapphire is good too.
Yeah, I've never had any of those.
They're
I've never
extra
had
dry.
I've never had Gordon's. I've never had Tanqueray. I've never had Gilby's or any of those.
The first time I had gin, it was Tanqueray. A girl I went to high school with mixed it for us in some cans of Lipton iced tea with lemon.
I
Did not like it. It was not a favorable experience. Pretended to drink it.
Oh, one more thing, and then we'll get back to this. The Crown Roost gin that Mathern specially ordered for me, I really liked it. People said, Crown Roost? I said, well, it tastes good to me. It took them one day to get it. It came in one day.
Oh yeah, the colder it gets, the more I taste the spice. That's interesting.
Getting back to this, and all those that you named, the Mims and the Taka and the Crown Roost I'm talking about, they all come from this same company here, Sazerac. I mean, but they're huge. I mean, they have wine, whiskey, bourbon.
It took me
everything.
forever. I didn't know for a long time that Sazerac was the company. I thought it was just the
It's a drink.
The drink.
Drink.
But the company was named after the drink.
Oh, see, I wasn't
That's
sure
the-
if it was the other way around.
I just bought some Sazerac rye, so I can make some Sazeracs with the Sazerac rye actually.
Whiskey.
Yeah.
Somebody gave me a bottle of that. Oh, that was a dynamite product.
Yeah, I've heard it's very sweet and very easy to drink. Like it's a good introduction for rye whiskey to people who aren't
And then
familiar with it.
There's aged versions, like 12-year, and all. They're more expensive. Yeah, Sazerac rye. They had that on sale often around here. Yes, that is a really good one. It was about $15. No, about $20.
About 20. I think I just got it for 22, 23.
Yeah, that's usually what it is.
Which is it's cheaper for some ryes too in comparison to Bullet and Knob Creek rye.
Knob Creek is the one with the green label.
That's Bullet.
Oh.
Bullet's the one I usually get.
And most of those that you're talking about, Bullet, for instance, they're
Mhm.
made in Lawrenceburg, Indiana.
Hmm.
And that there's this huge facility that makes a lot of the whiskeys and gins and stuff, and they ship it to various companies, and they'll like make it a boutique brand. Because if you look at their bottles carefully, they'll say bottled at this distillery. But if you start looking at the code, it'll show that it's from Lawrenceburg, Indiana, the old Seagram's distillery. That's Midwest grain products. Midwest grain products. I mean, I'm not saying it's bad. That doesn't mean it's a bad product because that company is so huge and their facility is so so massive that they can produce all these whiskeys and everything for much cheaper than somebody else doing
Yeah.
it. And they just ship it down there and they bottle it.
It's so odd because before I put the ice cube in, it was very oaky and mellow, and I was like, I don't know. And that last sip I just had was so sweet and so spicy.
Okay, but look, this is no shipped-in product. Distilled, aged, and bottled in Frankfurt. Okay, so this is done in-house by them. It's not shipped in from some contract distiller. Just thought I'd mention it. So it's getting more unpleasant, you thought?
No, it's still good. It just tastes different. Like the oakiness and the warmth, before I put the ice cube in it was more mellow. And then that last sip where the ice cube had been in there the longest was very sweet and very spicy. Like it just changed as I drank it. Like each sip was a little different as the ice melted. Mm-hmm. Which is nice. I mean, it's a good drinking experience. I would drink it with or without the ice cube.
Now the question is, would you buy it? I mean, would you be ashamed to buy it? I mean, would you buy it? Would it be something you'd buy?
There's very little I'm like ashamed to buy. I would buy it.
I don't think I would buy it, but that's because I know which bourbons I go to for my go-tos, which unfortunately are usually more expensive.
But if I was having a party or something and I wanted to make drinks for people, or I didn't want to share my good.
Your dress is starting to give a little.
I know. No, I wasn't going to reattach it in the video.
That's okay. Sorry, folks, for that little indiscretion there.
No,
all right.
I think it would be fine to get, like, in that context, if I'm hosting a lot of people or something and I want to make some bourbon drinks or I want to make
without breaking
a lot
out
of
your
fashions.
goods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would absolutely, I think that's fine.
Oh, so yeah, like if you're having a party, you didn't want to break your own bank.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you wouldn't be ashamed if people saw it.
No, I don't think I would. I think and I actually was really surprised when you said it was that cheap, and then after tasting it, that's...
Because it's good.
Yeah, because I mean, I've had
it's not like the
super cheap
Winn-Dixie
bourbons, and
brand or something.
That doesn't taste the same.
I probably would be a little ashamed to bring like Winn-Dixie brand to a party.
There is Winn-Dixie Kentucky straight bourbon.
No, I think I would be ashamed to bring like Barefoot wine or something like that to a party.
But that's funny because a lot of those things you're talking about, like the Winn-Dixie brand, the Barefoot wine, if people saw the label, they complain, but if they did it a blind taste test, they wouldn't really be able to tell the difference.
No, Barefoot wines are too sweet. They don't taste like real wine.
They are real, and they come from a company that got bought out by Chris and Giulio Gallo.
But like Carlo Rossi, I like.
And that's at the same price point.
Is it, yeah?
All right.
No, it's not. I think it's a little...
No, more expensive. If that's not...
Well, because it comes in the giant jug.
Yeah, I think they're the same price point per ounce, really.
I use it to make sangria.
All right.
I mean, I'll drink a box wine.
Here's what they're saying. You want to hear what the company's saying? See how it matches up. The aroma, they say corn, caramel, toffee, and vanilla. Follows through with many of the same flavors, but with a hint of spice and a lingering finish of toffee and citrus. Now, that's what the company says.
Vanilla. I don't think I got any citrus.
No.
I can see the toffee.
I'm getting the spice and I'm getting the wood and a little, yeah, maybe coffee. I was going to say caramel or something, some sugary. So I guess so. But the final analysis, it's sure not some old simple nothing.
No, it's definitely good for the price.
And I think if you're somebody that's not rolling in money, or just likes to save money, some people they just don't want to wait, spend a lot. This would do very well. $9.99 compared to $13.99 for Jim Beam.
I mean, dang, that's cheaper than some cases of beer.
I would definitely, you could buy a 12-pack of Schlitz for $9.99. I would definitely buy this over Jim Beam. I'm not saying it's any better. And I'm going to do a taste challenge, I'll do a taste challenge, blind taste challenge. But if they're similar in quality and flavor, why would you pay $4 more? I wouldn't.
I'm not crazy about Jim Beam. Like, I don't think it's anything to get super excited about.
You don't like it too much?
No.
If it's there, I'll drink it.
I'm just talking about it because it's like
it's
such a common product. Every store.
I mean, I probably would sooner drink this.
Any store that sells bourbon is going to have Jim Beam.
Yeah.
They're going to always have Jack Daniels,
Yeah.
They may or may not have Bullet.
Mm-hmm.
They may or may not have Sazerac Rye. Probably won't have it, but they may have it.
I think this tastes better than Evan Williams, too, which is another is comparable to Jim Beam.
I would agree
I think.
that it's better than Evan Williams.
Evan Williams, they're from Heaven Hill Distillery, and I know they're another real widespread, popular bourbon. I've never had Evan Williams, but you're not too pleased with it?
I don't think it's anything to write home about.
It's like going to McDonald's,
Yeah, it'll get the job done.
but you wouldn't.
But maybe
I
a
wouldn't
little
linger
guilt afterwards.
I wouldn't linger over it and like smell it and
So this wouldn't be like McDonald's. This would be maybe more like Rallies.
like a good Cracker Barrel.
Okay.
Cracker Barrel.
All right. Well.
Ooh, I want some Cracker Barrel.
Ancient age. It is what it is. the Ancient Age Distilling Company, not a real company because really it's, like it says on the other side of the bottle. Oh, bourbonwhiskey.com. Yeah, you can use these fake names because the government allows it. They say you can use what they call a fanciful name or what they call an alias.
Yeah, it's like a writer using a pseudonym.
But, it's sour mash also, by the way. They use the sour mash process, which many bourbons like to tout. You know what that is?
No.
Is
Sour
that when
mash.
the corn percentage is higher?
No, it was a process. We don't know if he invented it, but we certainly know he was the first person to use it that we're aware of. It was Dr. James Crow.
I'm sure he didn't invent it.
Whatever. He's the first person we know of that used it. He popularized sour mash whiskey. James Crow from Kentucky. He made the Old Crow.
Mm-hmm.
You've heard of Old Crow?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. One of the real old bourbons. And where they take some of the mash left over from a previous batch, which is like got live yeast or whatever, and they put it into the new batch to like prime it to get it going.
It just seems like a good idea regardless. Why would you throw away the...
Apparently no one ever used that before. And he started using that and it was very successful. So then it became like a big thing. Oh, use the sour mash process. But it really has nothing to do with sourness, actually. It's just what they call it, but it really is not related to any sourness.
It just seems like, why wouldn't everyone do that? Since it's there.
Some are sour mash whiskeys and many are not. They choose to use it and they don't choose to use the method.
Okay.
There's different ways of doing it. Okay, so that's pretty much the end of it. But so I think we're all generally pleased with it.
Yeah.
Not overwhelmed, like, oh, it's so fabulous.
I'm not falling out of my chair, but I really enjoyed it.
I really enjoyed
It's
it.
nice.
And I'm thinking, if you ask me, what's the complaint? What's wrong with it? I don't know. You'd have to tell me. I'm not detecting anything wrong with it, honestly. There's no off or weird flavors.
I like it.
Just like a standard good thing. All right. Thank you for watching this video production. And I'd be curious to see what you, if you know anything about Ancient Age, have to say about it. Thank you.